The next morning, we have a quick breakfast and head out of Illumia to continue towards Costa Coral. We walk through familiar rolling hills and grassy knolls late into dusk. As we pass Meadow Hill, I'm washed with a feeling of nostalgia. This is where my adventure started. My thoughts wander to my family back home. Do they know I'm gone? How much time has passed at home? Is the passage of time here even equal to that of Earth? What if I go home and everyone's grown old? Will I even be able to go home? I glance at Leanna. What would have happened if we'd never met? Would I still be wandering aimlessly around Havengard? I mean, possibly, yeah. Leanna looks over at me, feeling my gaze on her, and smiles softly. Her smile calms me and quiets my mind. There's no point in focusing on the what-ifs. I should focus on the here and now instead. As the sun begins to set, we make camp and turn in for the night. Happy, peaceful, sleepy time music again. I think you should have just time skipped a little bit more. It feels weird to have that so soon afterward. Like, how many lines were given? Hardly any. Because that just... Like, I understand that it's the transition from night to morning, but you don't need that every time. It was kind of used before to separate larger chunks, you know? Like, larger scenes. Like, I could feasibly end a video at the sleepy time music, because that marked the beginning of a new thing, or the end of one, beginning of a new, you know? But here, 2 in a row, that's weird. I yawn widely as the soft song of morning pulls me out of sleep. As the campsite focuses into view, I spot Leanna's empty bedroll and muster the energy to crawl out of bed. Time to get training so I can start my day. I quickly get ready and meet Leanna, who is waiting for me a short distance away from the rest of camp. Okay, she's waiting this time, that's cool. She smiles warmly as I approach.
Good morning!
Morning. Leanna hesitates and then steps closer to me. I pause in surprise as her lips caress my cheek in a gentle peck. As she pulls away, I see the color rise in her cheeks. She bites her lip, suddenly shy at my lack of response. Yeah, kiss her. I pull her into me and kiss her firmly on the lips. She melts into me before breathlessly pulling away. This really is a good morning. She pushes me playfully.
That was painfully cheesy. Are you ready to get started?
Yep. What are we doing first today? Casting or sparring?
Both.
Oh. Huh?
We're gonna practice magic augmentation.
Okay, fair. That sounds cool.
Now that you've improved in the fundamentals of both sword fighting and casting, we're gonna try to use your magic to enhance your swordsmanship.
I'm down. She unsheathes her sword and the crystal in her manipulator shines to life. Soon she's enveloped in a gentle glow. That's a Mage Knight specific skill, isn't it?
It's definitely a strong factor in what makes a Mage Knight so formidable. Now unsheath your sword and channel your energy.
Alright.
The magic can help lighten the weight of your sword and make your swings faster and more concise.
I gather the wind magic and direct it towards my blade. It feels as light as a feather, like it could float out of my hand. She looks pleasantly surprised.
Yes, you've got it. Okay, now when you swing your sword, use the air around you to push the sword in the direction you want it to go.
Wait, so not only is the sword weightless, but I'm also using wind to push the sword? Man, like, lightsabers are supposed to be really hard for anyone but a Jedi to use, given how weird the balance is, because the blade itself is weightless, you know? That kind of thing. I mean, as far as I understand it. So this seems like even worse than that. Worse as in, like, more difficult. Okay. I visualize my sword as a magnet attracting the air around it. Like a hot knife through butter, my sword slices through the air with a sharp ring. Whoa, I felt no resistance at all. As my sword completes its arc, a wave of energy flies towards Leanna. She raises her blade and easily deflects the wind. Sorry. Leanna stares at me with her mouth agape.
Were you trying to do that?
No. I am not Ichigo. No, I just practiced the swing, like you said. Her expression shifts to one of admiration. Was it Getsuga Tensho? Is that what it is? I haven't seen that in years, man.
What you did was actually an advanced technique which requires a lot of energy and concentration. I can't believe you were able to do that without trying.
But can I do it with trying? Like, can I do it intentionally? Huh, that's pretty cool. I twirl my sword, enjoying how easily it cuts through the air. I could get used to this. Wind augmentation is pretty awesome. Leanna grins.
Since you've been able to pick this up so quickly, are you ready to put it into practice?
Oh, you know it, girl. Yup. Readying my blade, Leanna matches my fighting stance. Why is Leanna readying my blade? That's odd. We go through the motions as we have so many times before, but this time I filter energy into my blade. As she moves to strike, I easily evade her attack. Without the weight of gravity, my return strike nearly catches her off guard.
Good.
She grins in approval and moves in for another attack. This time I repel the attack with my blade and parry. She ducks out of the way. For once, I'm able to keep up with Leanna's attacks, using my augmenting abilities. Then I see Leanna's sword glow. Is she going to augment her abilities too? Her expression becomes stern as she thrusts her sword towards me. Her movement is a blur and I barely catch the attack in time. Before I have a chance to regroup, she strikes me again, and this time I groan as I get knocked back. I don't think Leanna's holding back or taking it easy on me anymore. They used any more correctly! Woo! Alright. She continues to overpower me in the sword fight. My breaths come in labored wheezes. Even with my magic, I can't get through her defenses. Wait, my magic? She is clearly a better swordsman, but my magic is shown to be formidable too. As Leanna prepares for another attack, I gather a ball of energy and blast wind magic at her. She uses her arms to guard her face as she deflects the blast. Her eyes flash, but there's a smile playing at her lips. In one smooth motion, she retaliates with her own gale. I dig my heels into the ground as I'm pushed back. Soon we're volleying wind attacks and sword strikes. In a last attempt to gain some ground in this battle, I channel as much energy as I can into one powerful windstorm and let it fly towards Leanna. She returns with her own ferocious gale, and our energies clash between us. My windstorm cuts through her gale and knocks her down. She blinks up at me from the ground, stunned.
What just happened?
I figured there was no way I could beat you in a sword fight with all your years of training, but I've been doing very well in casting and would have a better chance of beating you that way.
That doesn't explain how you overpowered my cast.
Well, I've absorbed the energy of like 3 temples so far. My training has obviously paid off.
No, I mean that level of energy output should be impossible.
I gotta say, that sounds pretty arrogant. Summoning enough energy to overpower your cast should be impossible? Come on, Leanna. She looks at my arm and inspects my manipulator.
The type of crystal we have for you shouldn't be able to even handle that much energy without shattering.
Okay, a little less arrogant when it's about the crystal. I thought it was just like my energy output versus her own energy output. And she's like, I thought I was a god. I guess I'm just a man of talent. Don't blame the equipment for your inabilities. I guess. You know more about this stuff than I do. Leanna nods.
Maybe the next city will have a shop that can help us take a look at it. If not, we can always buy you a new one.
Wait, why do I need a new one? I mean, isn't this one godlike if it's letting out impossible energy outputs? Sure. In the meantime, should we continue practicing? She shakes her head.
That's enough training for today.
The fragrant scent of breakfast wafts through the air and my stomach growls. Leanna giggles.
We better get some food in you.
I agree. That's an idea I can get behind. We gather up our things and head back to the group. Once we return to the campsite, we have a quick breakfast. Afterwards, we clean up the camp and get started on our journey. We follow the main road, braking every so often to refuel and rest up. I'm getting more used to the long hours of walking and have even noticed more definition in my calves and legs. Eventually, the shadows grow long as the sun's rays loses its brilliance. We find a secluded area to make camp. We divide the setup duties for camp. Oh no, that's weird. I think I just put a hyphen in there with setup. Anyway, then have a quiet dinner together. I'm feeling exhausted from my training this morning, and after all that traveling, I'm ready to just relax and recharge. It seems like my companions are feeling the fatigue too. After dinner, we sit by the fire and talk for a little while when I feel my eyelids begin to grow heavy. Soon the conversations come to a close as everyone disperses to go to bed. Before long, I drift off to sleep. So this happy, peaceful sleepy time music is a little more understandable considering we had at least some amount of a scene, but it still seems like it's too soon. And I'm sure the game did that again, or the same thing earlier in the playthrough, but I'm noticing it now, so I'm pointing it out. I awaken bright and early the next morning. Leanna and I have a quick spar and practice and return to the group just in time for breakfast. After we finish eating and clean up the camp, we waste no time in resuming our journey towards Costa Coral. It was kind of nice having her close to me all day, though. Alright, the road towards Costa Coral is clear, and we make good time. With the sun high in the sky, sweat pricks my skin. The temperature is much milder here than it was back north. It's a welcome change from the previous cold. We arrive at Costa Coral in the afternoon. Oh, that's a pretty picture. Look at all like the colored rooftops and everything. That's nice. As we pass through the gates, the first thing I notice is the salty breeze coasting through town. The houses and shops are all built higher above ground than what I'm used to seeing, with large, wide windows to let in the sun and breeze. We pass through the main square. People peruse the shops, but the bustle isn't quite as busy as the previous towns. Shopkeepers laze by the desk, fanning themselves with wide woven fans. The slow pace of the town calms me. This would be a really nice place to just relax for a few days. There's a bright smile on Leanna's face as she enjoys the wind combing through her hair. Everyone seems to feel the same tranquility I do. After passing through town, we find the inn where we settle down. We order some food and situate ourselves near the open window. Amelia immediately consults her notes.
Now that we have arrived at Costa Coral, it would be in our best interest to survey the area and search for additional information which can lead to the water temple.
No one answers her. I look at the rest of the group and they're staring out of the window. Following their gaze, the view from the inn overlooks brilliant white sands and crystal blue water. The Pongo pops out from seemingly nowhere and settles near the window.
It's so beautiful.
Kara grins broadly and leans closer to the window to get a better look. Even Zack relaxes as he watches the gentle lapping of the waves. Only Amelia remains transfixed on her notes.
Perhaps we should inquire with the locals here as to the whereabouts of the temple.
Leanna reluctantly tears her gaze away from the beach.
Well, I suppose we should do that.
Or we could take a break from all that traveling and take some time to recharge and then scout for information.
Are we having a beach episode suddenly? I mean, we had a very brief hot springs episode, but it was brief because I decided not to be a pervert. I vote that.
Boing!
Pongo seconds that vote.
Pongo's got good taste.
Yeah, he does. He likes magic. Kara kneels down and pats the Pongo on the head. He chirrups happily.
We have arrived here for a purpose, and that purpose should be fulfilled.
That's true, but wouldn't we have more success after we've had a chance to rest and can search with fresh eyes?
I've been feeling a bit pale after spending so much time in the cold north. It'd be so nice to just relax and bask in the sun for a while.
The beach sounds like a great idea.
Oh, even Zack's interested. Wonder why. There's a pause as we blink at Zack. Really?
Of course.
Leanna wrinkles her brow.
There's no reward for going to the beach.
Not everything I do has to have a reward.
Kara smirks and wraps herself around Zack.
Obviously, his motivation for going to the beach is to spend more time with me.
Obviously. And maybe swimwear.
I take it back. Let's do Amy's thing.
Hey!
Amy looks thoughtful.
The journey here has been long. I suppose a brief repose could be a good idea.
Then it's settled.
Sometimes I just have to wait for the text to appear, you know? I don't know about you guys, but I didn't exactly pack my swimsuit.
Good point.
I noticed a few clothing shops we passed on our way here. Perhaps we may find something suitable within.
Why don't we take a look at the shops, and then we all can meet down at the beach?
Good plan. We agree to the plan and begin to head off when Kara stops me and Zack.
Nuh-uh. No boys allowed.
But we need to buy trunks. What?
It'll be way more fun if it's a surprise. Trust me.
Okay. She winks and hurries out with Leanna and Amy before we can protest. That just leaves Zack and me to team up and shop for swimsuits. After leaving the inn together, we browse the local bazaar. We each flip through the racks. Zack grabs the first pair of dark swim trunks he finds and brings it up to the counter for purchase. Wow, that was fast. He shrugs.
It's not like it really matters.
That's true. They're just going to be looking at his abs anyway. I take a look at a few different styles, but ultimately decide on an orange suit. Okay. After buying our suits, we head down to the beach to get changed. We carefully tread down the stairs carved into the wall of the cliff until our feet touch the warm sand. The beach is laden with visitors. Children build sandcastles or race by the water, shrieking when the waves lap at their feet. Even more children play along the cliffs, chased by their parents who fiercely scold them. Most people lounge beneath the sun, flipping every so often to even out their tans. Zack and I wait for the girls in a more secluded spot.
Boy!
I glance down and see the Pongo has returned. You made it here before the girls.
Boy!
Is that just me, or does he sound disappointed? We continue to wait. Is Pongo a little perv? Or maybe he just likes the girls' company because they're friendly. And wait. So, Zack, what kind of swimsuits do you think the girls will get? Zack shrugs.
Nice ones, I would guess.
Oh no, nice ones. I nod. I'm really looking forward to seeing... oh. Leanna's swimsuit choice, Kara's hot bod, Amy's adorable swimsuit. Well, I feel like I can't pick Amy's, cause that would... I don't know, he'd probably take that wrong. Kara's... You know, it might be fun to, like, bring up some jealousy, or bond a little bit, you know, if he agrees. But I mean, like, the character would pick Leanna, is the thing. Unless he were intentionally teasing, then he'd pick Kara. But I feel like that could just also, potentially, depending on how the game took it, I feel like this could lead to drama, unnecessary drama, so I'm gonna pick Leanna's. Which kind of swimsuit Leanna chooses? Based on her reaction to her wolfskin armor, I'd guess she might cover up a bit more.
Yeah, but don't forget, she actually kept the wolfskin armor.
Oh, she did. True, so maybe she secretly likes showing more skin.
You'd know better than I would.
What do you mean, Zack? What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, if there's anyone she'd enjoy showing more skin to, it's certainly not me.
That's fair. My cheeks heat up at the thought.
It's Kara.
That is probably very true. Zack nods. Finally, we hear the girls before we see them. Kara leads the way and bounces into view. Her string bikini seems to be struggling to stay put. Oh no.
Hey guys!
Are
you
we still
waiting
gonna
long?
Are we still gonna have all the bouncing happen? I like how it goes up into a collar. That's neat. He responds with a low guttural gurgle. Kara blinks.
I mean, yes, we were waiting forever.
She grins slyly.
Sorry to keep you waiting. It took a while for me to find the perfect suit.
And Zack literally grabbed the first dark suit he saw. She spins around.
So, what do you think?
Zack shrugs.
It's fine.
Kara pouts. Before she can respond, Leanna and Amy catch up to us. They're so pale, like, especially Amy. I almost thought she just had the pink, and I'm like, ah! Leanna's white, crap, is that bandeau? Leanna's white bandeau suit hugs her in all the right ways, while Amy's pink ruffles make her look cute and girly. I give Leanna a once-over. Also, what's that at the bottom? Why does she have, like, one little leg ruffle and not another little leg ruffle? Why does she have a little leg ruffle at all? Is that part of swimsuits, little leg ruffles? I don't know. It's a very flattering swimsuit. This is my new favorite outfit. It's okay, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one. She looks even better than I expected. That's a great look for you. Leanna blushes and grins shyly.
I'm glad you like it.
Amelia walks right past us and settles into the sand. Hey there, Amy.
Greetings.
What are you doing?
I am selecting the prime location for me to begin my construction.
Is she actually building a sandcastle? That's adorable. Construction?
Of the most structurally sound sand fortress.
I approve.
Boy!
So does Pongo. The Pongo bounds over to Amy and wobbles excitedly.
Of course, you may be of assistance.
Leanna pulls me aside as Amy starts digging in the sand.
Why don't we go check out the water?
That was a weird bounce there. Good idea. I take Leanna's hand and lead her toward the ocean. She glances furtively back at the others, but nobody pays attention to us. Her fingers intertwine with mine as a smile graces her lips. She carefully dips her toe in the water. I'm not gonna be like that. I watch with amusement as Leanna gently eases herself into the water. Once she's comfortable, she grins and motions me over. I leap in with a splash.
Hey!
So I got her in the end anyway. Leanna splashes me and I dive out of the way before returning the splash. She ducks from the water, but a few droplets catch her. She grins mischievously and uses her arm to send a small wave my way. Whoa! There's a tiny wave! I try to swim out of the way, but the wave splashes my face. If that's how she wants to play. I use both my arms and send an even larger wave over to Leanna's direction. Or over in Leanna's direction. She automatically moves her arm into casting position, hoping to push the wave away from her, and realizes too late that she's still not wearing her manipulator. Old habits must die hard. I'd also say that she's not still wearing her manipulator. Because still not implies, like, that she hasn't been for a long time. The wave crashes around her.
Oh, you are so going to regret that.
Am I, though? Uh-oh. Let's not do anything rash now. I try to swim away and put some more distance between her and myself. For all I know, she's going to somehow send a tsunami my way. Leanna swims closer to close the gap. We were just having fun, right? I read myself for the worst, but to my surprise, Leanna swims over to me and boops me on the nose. Huh?
Fooled you.
Oh, you're so clever, Leanna. She giggles.
I got you all riled up for nothing.
Leanna, not so loud. Oh, yeah? I grab her waist and pull her into me. She gasps as she looks up at me, her chest against my own. With the team back on the beach, I draw Leanna into a lingering kiss. Her eyes flutter as we pull breathlessly away. Now who's the one all riled up?
Still you.
Oh, jeez. She playfully pushes me away, trying to mask the color in her cheeks. Leanna squeezes some of the water out of her hair.
I think I'm ready to dry out a bit in the sun.
Yeah, same here. Let's go check back in with the others. I want to see how the sandcastle's doing, honestly. We head back to the shore. Amelia's fortress looks to be nearly complete. That girl works fast. The Pongo bounces from buttress to buttress, I think that's how you say it, a little shovel in his mouth. That's cute. He's helping. Zack lounges on the sand, his eyes closed, while Kara pouts beside him. She doesn't look too happy at Zack. As soon as she spots us, she rushes over to Leanna.
I'm feeling kind of hungry. Are you hungry? Let's go get some food.
She grabs Leanna's hand and drags her over to the food cart. They gotta talk about stuff, you know? I stand next to Zack. What was that about?
Meh.
Zack leans back in his beach chair. I think Kara's trying to get your attention. Zack. I nudge him.
What?
What are you doing?
Trying to relax.
You should be relaxing with Kara.
I was. She was right next to me.
Maybe with your eyes open and focused on her. Zack raises an eyebrow. Leanna returns with an ice cream and seems excited to eat it. Kara trails behind her. She stops right in front of Zack, but turns to face Leanna.
I am starving.
When Leanna looks at Kara, she seems just as baffled as ever. Kara reveals a banana and nothing else. I thought she was starving. She peels the banana and then carefully maneuvers the fruit as far into her mouth as possible. She's so subtle.
If you take it all at once, you could choke.
No, it's alright. She doesn't have much of a gag reflex. Kara grins and slowly pulls the intact banana out of her mouth.
Oh, don't worry. I have great control of my gag reflexes.
How did I know? How did I know? Because I'm amazing. Zack starts coughing as his face turns red.
But you're right. I'm just so hungry that I got a little eager. Is this better?
I don't know if hungry's the right word. She puts a sizable amount of the banana in her mouth at once. Then, noticing Leanna's chagrin, carefully pulls back a lot. She takes in a bit more, then pulls back. I don't think she's actually planning on eating that banana. She makes eye contact with Zack.
You have weird eating habits.
Kara's eyes flash and she takes a vicious bite out of the banana. For some reason, I wince. And so does Zack. And I know exactly the reason. When she's done eating, Kara gets close to Leanna again.
Oh, do you know what we forgot to do? Put on sunscreen.
Oh my gosh! Ah, that is the worst thing to forget. Leanna's eyes widen.
You're right.
You don't like to tan?
It's not about tanning. It's about protecting your skin.
Exactly.
Hopefully Kara can reach everywhere just fine. Kara leads Leanna over to the beach towels and the two of them settle in. Then Kara smears a glob of sunscreen into her hands and starts rubbing the lotion across her chest. Zach's gaze is fixated on the gentle rhythm of her hands. Leanna follows Kara's lead and begins liberally spreading sunscreen over her skin. I'm mesmerized by the smooth flow of her hands across her supple skin, and I imagine they're my hands traveling up and down her body. Wait, this is different. Unless she undid the straps, she doesn't have like the same collar and everything anymore. You can see us in the background. And look at Amelia. She's so focused. That's adorable in Lil Pongo there. I really like that on the left. I mean, this picture as a whole is funny. But the fact that they actually have Amelia over there is awesome. Suddenly, Kara's lying on her stomach on the towel and motions to Leanna. I turn to Zach. You know, I couldn't see it when you were on the bed in Wolfstead in this pose, but now I'm starting to understand what you mean.
I told you, it's the most attractive pose.
Maybe not the most attractive, but pretty attractive.
Liana, do you think you could help me with my back? I'll return the favor.
Of course.
Leanna kneels beside her and squirts the lotion into her hands. Suddenly, the bikini strings across Kara's back fall to her sides, undone. Okay, so it wasn't just a missed thing in the picture. It's actually undone. Yep.
You'll be able to reach more this way.
Leanna nods, then carefully rubs her hands along Kara's skin, making sure to spread the sunscreen evenly across her whole back.
Oh, that feels so nice.
Zach clears his throat and tries to look away, but his eyes are repeatedly drawn back to the girls. Even I start to feel the flush in my cheeks. I really wish I were Kara right now. As Leanna's hands travel up Kara's back, the strings holding her bikini up fall loosely to her sides. Oh, I thought they already did that.
Oops.
That's okay. I don't want any tan lines anyway.
Kara lets out a soft moan as Leanna finishes up her back. A small strangled sound escapes Zach's throat. I look over and notice a stream of blood trickling out of his nose because anime. I think you've got a bit of something. I gesture to his nose.
I'm fine.
When Leanna is done, she helps retie Kara's swimsuit. As Kara stands, she turns around to speak to Zach, then smirks when she notices the nosebleed.
All right, Leanna, your turn.
Leanna looks back at us and frowns.
Maybe later when we don't have so much of an audience.
I can close my eyes if that helps.
It doesn't.
Zach and I get shooed away while Kara gives Leanna the same sunscreen treatment. Zach wipes his nose and quickly returns to his usual self while I sneak as many peeks at the girls as I can. Kara seems very familiar with Leanna. My mind wanders back to all those times they shared a room. What actually happens behind closed doors? After a while, the girls return and Kara throws a ball at us. Zach's lightning reflexes catch the ball.
Nice catch.
Where did you get this?
Doesn't matter.
Kara?
She giggles.
I bought it, silly. It was with us the entire time. But I suppose you were a bit too distracted to notice.
He was relaxing. She winks. What game are we playing?
Beach ball.
That's the best game you can play with a ball at the beach. Leanna grins.
A classic beach game.
Yeah, for sure. How do you play?
We'll split into teams. Me and Zach, and you and Leanna. We'll each stay on our own sides of the court and try to hit the ball over to the other side without letting it drop to the ground.
I am terrible at this. This sounds suspiciously like beach volleyball. It's almost as though they just took out volley and pushed the words together. Sounds fun. I hope you're ready to lose. I don't like volleyball. That is the most accurate for me. But, you know what? We're talking to Kara, and we're teaming with Leanna. Let's do this. With Leanna on my team, we're sure to win. You're on. There's no way this dream team will ever lose.
Yeah.
We high-five. Kara smirks.
Oh yeah? Should we make a wager?
I pale as I remember the last time we made a wager. Let's just keep it a friendly match this time. Kara laughs.
You better get into position or this first serve will be an automatic point for me.
Leanna and I hurry over to the other side of the court. There's a towel placed in the sand to divide the two sides. Kara serves first and Leanna dives to bump it. Then I spike it over the side, expecting the ball to smash into the ground, but Zach saves it and bumps it over. I scramble to reach it, but it lands gently in the sand. Okay, that wasn't the strongest start. It isn't long before Zach and Kara get into the swing of things. Soon, the volleys to either side take longer and longer. At one point, Amy wanders over and sits down on the sidelines to watch. On the last volley, Kara spikes the ball over to our side. Leanna dives to bump it, but misses it by a breath and the ball bounces in the sand. Leanna lets out a frustrated groan. She serves the ball hard and it flies out of the court. It's okay. Try to give her a pep talk. Suggest using match. She can't! She doesn't have her crystals manipulating and stuff, so just pep talk. How did Kara and Zach get so good?
I have no idea.
We can't let this get to us. It's like you say with my training. Stay focused and filter out all distractions. Leanna nods determinedly.
You're right.
She closes her eyes and takes a few deep breaths. Feel calmer? She smiles as she opens her eyes.
Yep, I'm ready to win.
That's the spirit.
Are you ladies here to talk or play?
I scowl. We're here to win.
Could have fooled me.
Just serve the ball. Although Leanna and I try our hardest to keep up, we can't close the lead that Kara and Zach maintain. Ultimately, we end up losing. Leanna pouts as Kara and Zach celebrate. I still don't understand how they're so good.
Neither do I.
Amy brushes herself off as she stands.
It is because they play upon each other's strengths. Kara's dexterity and swift reflexes allows her free range to set up the ball for Zach's powerful strikes.
We did that. Amelie gives me a blank look. Sort of.
That's pretty smart of them. We mostly just split the court in half and figured if the ball fell into whoever's half, that's who would try to hit it.
They really are a perfect match. Oh no, does Zach cast doubt on our own match? Kara throws her arms around Zach as she jumps up and down in celebration. A broad smile splits his face as Zach's arms wrap around her too. Suddenly, he seems to realize what he's done and quickly lets go. Kara grins and scoots back close to him.
We make a great team, don't we?
You're pretty good at this.
Oh, was that a compliment I just heard?
Zach crosses his arms.
Don't make a big deal out of it.
She laughs.
Well, you're pretty good at this too.
With the game over, we all gather together and hang out. The sun begins descending in the sky and we enjoy the light breeze billowing around us. Collectively, we relax in the sand and enjoy the last warmth of the sun. I close my eyes as I soak in the rays, but I still feel a bit restless. I nudge Leanna. Let's go for a walk.
Sure.
Brushing off the sand, I get to my feet and the two of us walk in pace. The beach expands out onto the horizon. Brilliant colors paint the sky as the sun kisses the ocean line. We pass by the cliffs, and both Leanna and I hear voices. She stiffens as she goes on high alert.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. We pick up the pace and can make out frantic yelling. Oh!
Somebody help!
Oh no, it's the person from back in Bridgewick! With the child! At least it's the same actress. But the same actress is used also for like Professor Odessa and various other characters. My head swings around as I glance wildly about me. Then my gaze focuses on a small boy gripping the edge of the cliff with his tiny fingers. His face is a wash of panic as tears stream down his face. Though, you know, it was a middle-aged woman and she had a boy, it actually could be the same person. A woman, who I assume is the mother, screams for help, tears glistening in her eyes as a crowd forms around them. Leanna breaks from me and races to address the boy. I'm close on her heels.
Everything is going to be okay. I just need you to keep holding on, okay?
The boy chokes out his words between sobs.
I can't.
Oh no.
Don't let go. Just keep holding on.
Hold on, small boy.
Damn it. I need my manipulator.
I don't. She turns on her heel and sprints back towards the group and our belongings. Leanna!
Make sure he holds on. I'll be right back.
My heart races as she disappears from view. The boy swings precariously on the cliffside. She'll never make it in time.
I can't.
Oh no. You can do it! Just hold on a little bit longer, okay?
My hands are.
Time slows as the boy's fingers slip. I feel this is a good effect. I feel helpless as I watch one hand flail and then the other, and suddenly they should have had the heartbeat keep going, I feel. And suddenly the boy disappears as he falls. My ears pound to the beat of my heart, and all sounds are muted as if washed away by the ocean. Can I go after him? Okay, good. He rushes through the air, but time seems to slow as I reach out my arm. The only thought in my head is to save him. I want him to slow. He's falling too fast. Slow down. Gather the wind around him and slow down. And to my surprise, he does. His descent slows and slows until he's hovering just above the ground, and then he drops ungracefully into the sand, but ultimately unhurt. His mother is right by his side, clutching him to her chest. His sobs are drowned by the tears of his mother as she scolds him with a mixture of harsh words and kisses. The scene replays in my head over and over again, how he was falling and then he wasn't. I remember reaching out my arm, and then the wind that saved him. Was that from me? I can still feel the lingering tingle in my arm as the energy dissipates. Gradually, the shock wears off and I feel life return to my limbs. I'm a bit groggy, like I've just woken up from a nap, but I still notice the intense stares a few people are giving me. Whispers snake around me and I catch words like casting and impossible.
That was magic, wasn't it? The boy slowed down and then stopped in midair. You saw it, didn't you? But who could have cast it? Must have been a mage out here, watching. Yeah.
They glance around, looking for anyone who could be suspicious, and their gazes land on me. Uh-oh. As her eyes narrow, Leanna finally returns and rushes over. The team is right behind her, our things already gathered. Leanna gently urges me to move.
Now that the boy is safe, we should get moving.
Wait, did you do that then? Because she doesn't seem at all surprised.
Indeed, it will only cause more questions the longer we stay.
As we trudge up the cliffside stairs, I can't stop wondering. Was that me? I know I wanted to save the kid, but I wasn't wearing my manipulator. That's impossible, isn't it? And yet, I felt the unmistakable tingle of magic flow through my arm. Like, I think it was him, I called it, and I thought that even back when Leanna said, like, oh, it should be impossible to output that much energy with your crystal. But, Leanna, why was she not shocked at all? Unless she thought that she did it. Kara voices my thoughts in a low, urgent voice.
What happened back there?
I don't know.
You casted.
What?
Somehow, you have discovered a method in which you can cast without your manipulator.
Then why didn't Leanna react like that, you know? But I thought that was impossible.
Yes, however, absorbing energy directly is impossible too. For you to use that internal energy to cast is a new occurrence for all of us.
We don't know how to channel magic without a manipulator, so we could only teach you to cast in the only way we know how.
I just have to be disappointed then in Leanna's reaction, because it was nothing. There was no reaction.
Do you believe you could replicate such a casting?
I don't know, it was a pretty desperate moment. I'm not sure.
Maybe here isn't the best place to be discussing this.
Zach eyes the crowds of people rushing past us, presumably to check out the beach.
Yeah, let's get to the inn first.
We all change out of our swimsuits and then regroup. Kara leads the way and soon brings us to the inn as night falls. Cue outro, go!